Okay, I'm going to be the host this week, apparently. Fake hosting. It's what I was born to do. Welcome to Connecting the Dots, brought to you by Connect Happy Valley. I'm Chris Buchignani. I am here with Greg Woodman.
Good to be here.
Mastermind, the alchemist behind this crazy operation. And Greg, we've been doing this thing every week where we talk a little bit about what's going on in Happy Valley in the world of sports.
Pinch me. I'm in Happy Valley.
Absolutely.
Tell me what to do this week.
So folks are probably watching this because they clicked on it out of your wonderful weekly newsletter that I am grateful to be a part of. And so right out of the gate, Thursday at Panzer Stadium, the women's lacrosse team is taking on Oregon. So that's a tough gig for those Pac-12 schools, man.
Imagine that. They
You got to fly cross country. The athletic department at Oregon has got to pay for them to fly cross country. So good thing they have Phil Knight and Nike money out there. But they're going to come all the way across these United States to play Penn State at Panzer Stadium on Thursday.
I want to go and bask in the sun and look at Mount Nittany.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful stadium.
I don't know you're going to be basking in the sun this week, man, but that's all right. The girls deserve support irrespective of the weather.
And think they're flying all the way here for our delight, to see these young women, these student athletes compete in that beautiful stadium.
Yeah, lacrosse is a fun sport to watch. It's high speed. There's a lot of action. It moves along pretty well. The games don't take that long. So I think those are a lot of the reasons why it's starting to pick up some steam as a TV sport. I think Big Ten Network is doing pretty well televising men's and women's lacrosse games. And as you said, the venue Penn State has now is just tremendous. It's a really cool place to go watch a game.
And then this Saturday, more lacrosse.
Yes, the men's team, who just had an absolute heartbreaker to Johns Hopkins this past weekend. And this is, I think, if anybody have seen any of these other conversations we've had, I've been saying this is what this team will be this year. It's going to be a roller coaster ride, and sometimes you're going to be way high, and other times you're going to go way low. And that was Penn State last weekend on the road, blew a 5-goal lead, ended up losing by 1 to Johns Hopkins, which is a Big Ten member for lacrosse only. So that's a conference game for the Nittany Lions, and they're trying to finish up strong. Senior Day is on Saturday versus Michigan. And this is a team that just needs to get hot as they go into the postseason. Because as I said about the roller coaster ride, I truly think, Greg, they've got enough talent to beat anybody when we get to the playoffs. But they're unpredictable and erratic enough to lose to anyone too. So that's it. You just roll the dice and hope they keep coming up strong as we go down the stretch here. And then the softball team has a weekend-long series against Northwestern, and that's all going to be played at Beard Field. So,
and I hear that
good stuff going on.
I hear that venue's amazing too.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great. I mean, when you think about what was here in terms of athletic facilities, when I was a freshman in 1997, the All Sports Museum or All Sports Complex was not built for track and field. No baseball stadium, no softball stadium, no Panzer Stadium, which we just talked about. Of course, no Pagula Ice Arena. And they have done so much to expand Jeffrey Field and improve the soccer facilities. And now they have the bubble. So every indoor practice doesn't have to be scheduled around the football's use of Haluba Hall. So in the last 25 years, Penn State has made substantial investments in the infrastructure.
And now Beaver Stadium, 2027 fall.
Yeah.
That's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I assume the blue-white weekend, which is just going to be an open practice. I think the days of teams scrimmaging, especially when it's going to be on television, are pretty much over. But I think they'll do the same thing they did last year, which is only open up half the stadium. And I don't know, normally at the end of the game, for folks who stuck around to the very end of it, you could go down on the field. They didn't do that last year because of the construction, and I assume that'll be the case again this year. But the one thing I've thought about these two seasons, last year and this one coming up, it's kind of cool because the blue-white and the 7 home games are your only opportunities to be in that version of Beaver Stadium. Like the Beaver Stadium we were in last year no longer exists and never will again, and the same thing can be said about this season, and then the final product will open in 2027.
Great. What else? Anything else happening that's worth getting out and about? And as spring, I think, is here.
Yeah, I don't know. We're a little off and on that. I might ask you the same question, Greg.
Well, I just, our calendar is so chock full. As you know, our whole goal here is to get people into places, and that includes myself. It's always taken a stick of dynamite to get me from leaving my home in the evening and getting out. But I've been out and about. I mean, the Music Man last night, amazing. The transformational power of the arts right there at Eisenhower. And in seeing you this past Saturday at Pine Grove Hall on the history of Penn State sports, that was transformational. Talk about the transformational of those decades from 1960 to 1993. I can't wait for the next episode. When is that?
Thursday, April 30th, 7 p.m. at Pine Grove Hall. Going to wrap up my 3-part series on the history of Penn State football. We're going to pick it up where we left off this past Saturday with Penn State on the cusp of joining the Big Ten, and we're going to take it all the way up to modern times.
Can't wait. And it was really neat to have it on a Saturday night.
It was good. Yeah.
I mean, good crowd, good discussions. I mean, it was just a wonderful evening. And this Wednesday, tonight, we're having AI series concluding tonight at Pine Grove Hall up on the second floor. And this is the fourth of the series. And again, a great crowd. We usually get about 30 people, invite more people to come out tonight because we're talking all things AI. And concluding it, we've had some great professors from Penn State. But more importantly, we've had some great community members come out and really dive into this inflection point in the history of AI. So I'm looking forward to tonight.
It just goes back to what we always say. If you're fortunate enough to live in Happy Valley, there are so many opportunities to get out and experience really whatever tickles your fancy. If you're intellectually curious and you want to hear experts on what's happening in the world of artificial intelligence, it's a 10-minute drive from your house. You want to see world-class intercollegiate sports all over campus all the time. You want to go see Broadway quality theater productions. Again, 10, 15 minutes away. It's amazing. And you talked about needing to get a stick of dynamite to get you out of your house. I think all of us have a little bit of that lingering effect post-COVID, and it's only now, like half a decade later, finally starting to wear off. So the message to anyone and everyone watching is throw that lit stick of dynamite out the window and follow it out the door and go do whatever interests you, because whether you're an outdoorsman, an academic, an athlete, a connoisseur of the arts, somebody who loves to go out and taste craft brewed beer or distilled spirits or wine or a combination of all of those, there's something that's pretty damn good to satisfy that taste less than 20 minutes from your front door.
And the whole trend is in real life, IRL,
yes,
or
sir.
Touch grass, and our whole vision and mission here is to connect people to places and most importantly to each other. So I think that's maybe a great way to wrap it up.
Very good, Greg. Well, I'm looking forward to enjoying another week in the best place on earth.
Amen. Thank you, Chris.